right, so I went ahead and went it live a little bit early. So this is a Chet Atkins model Gibson guitar, which is the first one I've ever seen. Really cool guitar and rather expensive guitars. But this one, several years back, had a problem with the bridge. Not the saddle. That's the saddle. This is the bridge. Another tech in another location, who I'm not sure who it was. I don't care. I would call them and talk to them about this, but they glued this bridge back on the instrument, and we can talk a little bit more about this as I'm sure a few folks might show up today for my stream. I know these are kind of long and boring, but I do my best to get some stuff done. But if you look at the amount of glue on this bridge and also the outer edge over here, you can see that this portion of the bridge was glued to paint, and this portion was attempted to be glued to wood. If you want a good forgive me, my Freudian slips are slipping all over the place. If you want a good glue joint, you've got to get wood to wood when you're using wood glue. There's no two ways about it. If you're going to glue wood to a finish, you have to use another type of glue, and I do not recommend that. Once you get a good solid glue joint, especially with Titebond type glue, you are going to be hard pressed to get it apart. You have to heat it up, get it wet, or both. This thing peeled up. I don't know how long it's been since it was repaired the first time, but they just did a really shoddy job. Again, they tried to fill, because the glue or the paint on this, if you see this paint, it's very thick. You know, it's a 1/2 millimeter thick. So this glue that was where the bridge was sitting on top of the glue, or on top of the paint, the glue in here is in some places well over 1/2 millimeter thick. So if you run into one of these things, I do highly recommend that you remove and I don't know how Gibson or why Gibson would have done this at the factory. That makes no sense to me at all, but that's Gibson for you. This is a very expensive guitar, and obviously now the bridge has pulled off of this guitar twice. And to get this thing off of here, for me to get it off, was no effort at all. Let's see, how was it? It was sitting on here like this. I'm not going to put it, and this was separated clear back to the middle, and I pushed my paddle under there, and it was completely separated up to the holes. And I pushed a little bit harder, and this thing popped off as if it was held on by a piece of masking tape. It literally, really bad, poor repair. So if you're going to have someone repair your guitar, if you're going to pay someone to repair your guitar, make sure they know what they're doing. So this goes out to a lot of the techs out there who may not be real thorough about their repair job because they want to get done fast, or whatever the case might be. You know, just try not to do that. If you're repairing your own guitar, get the paint off or finish off the guitar. And now I get to spend my day scraping glue off. What's happening?
What are you doing?
Fixing guitars.
Fixing guitars.
That's what I do. What are you doing?
Well, I'm thinking about backup camera, new radio in my pickup.
Oh, okay. I like that idea. Let me, what I'd like to do is grab Stu and let you talk with him.
He's working on it.
Oh, is he? Okay, excellent. You're with the best man in the business. Yeah, somebody glued this back on here and didn't, this is a really, really expensive guitar, and somebody repaired it, if you want to call it that, for him, and that's wood glue. You're laughing. It's funny, the gentleman I'm talking to right now has worked on hardwood floors, and he knows how to glue wood together, and he laughed when he saw this much glue on this instrument. Also, the guy who did the repair on it, you can see these lines going through the wood here. He scored the wood, which is generally a good idea, but if you look at the body of the guitar, you can see he scored this thing really deep, and that can be very counterproductive when we're talking about wood glue. With wood glue, you want wood to wood contact. Those little tiny lines should be, hey Falcro, those little tiny lines should, literally that is enough. Just take your razor, the tip of your razor blade, no pressure, and just put a little scratch, a tiny little scratch in it. I've done enough gluing and have been instructed by some of the best in the business, and that's how the big boys do it, and the good techs do it. By scratching real deep, you've basically made it hard to get the glue off when your glue joint comes undone because you did that. So again, I'm always thinking about the next guy, which on this guitar will likely be me if it needs more work. But I think that what I'm doing on this instrument is better than what was done the day it was made. And I'm sure that Gibson has probably changed their policy on these instruments, because if they were all built like this, is a 2005 model, and I'm sure that they've had enough of them come loose that maybe they listened, probably not, but maybe they listened to the owners or the techs who've had to fix them. And I usually do my best to look out for consumers by taking photographs of this stuff and sending it to Gibson and or Fender or any other guitar manufacturer when I find something done at the factory that just is not good. So there you go. Falcro, I haven't seen you doing much live broadcasts lately. I don't know if you've kind of taken a hiatus. I saw your one the other night with your friend. I can't remember what it was called. Which those are pretty fun to sit and listen to. But I don't know if you're taking a kind of a hiatus. I certainly have over the years of doing. It's a lot of effort, right? But we've had some really good community members. Been fun. Some of them leave my channel because other people become members, or they view my channel and there's I don't know, too much water under the bridge, or bad experiences. I don't know. I mean, I've certainly been there. It's really a bummer because the guys that I've watched come onto my channel and subscribe and do all of that, the guys that leave because other people join my channel or my community are probably the ones who would benefit the most from my content. Again, this is going to be kind of a long, boring video, simply because I'm going to have to sit here and scrape all of this glue off. And if you know a better way to get Elmer's glue or wood glue off of wood without having to do this, boy, I would sure appreciate it. I don't know of any chemical way to do it that I've found yet that is as safe as using a good old-fashioned scalpel. Let me check the messages here. I want to stay busy on this one. I'm really doing my best to get this one glued up today, but I've got to get all this old glue off of here. Leaving any remnant of the glue that was originally used is going to leave you a weak spot in your glue joint. It'll be about as weak as the original one that came apart for whatever reason. Now, you might wonder why I haven't removed the pickup, and that is because I think that I will cause more trouble for myself than it's worth. The electronics are up in the upper bout of this guitar, and I took it apart, and the way they're mounted in here, Gibson again, they'd use some little clips and clamps and stuff, and it just, I don't feel like taking that apart is the best idea for repairing this guitar properly. So I can work around this. Yeah, just a little break. Yeah, still appearing on, yeah, panels. I have to run the show. Yeah, I hear that. Don, Joe, hello, man. Welcome, brother. Again, this is going to be kind of a long, drawn-out video, but maybe if you have an acoustic guitar that might need to be repaired, this might help you if you ever have to repair your own. Again, if you're curious about some of my commentary on what this tech did to this guitar, you can rewind and maybe listen to a little bit of that. I tried not to get too in depth, but when you're gluing wood to wood, you want wood to wood contact. You cannot squeeze all of the glue out of the joint. I'm not going to say that's impossible to the point that you would not have a solid glue joint, but how long have I been doing this, and how many times has that ever happened? 40 years, and it's never happened. Never once have I squeezed all the glue out of a glue joint, and to my knowledge, any guitar repair that I've done that required glue, gluing wood to wood, has never come back to me because the glue joint failed. It's come back to me because they needed it set up again after 10 years of playing it and beating the tar out of it. But so I think that my advice here on what I've offered and what Gibson could have done on this guitar to avoid having done this might be pretty prudent and definitely legit. So I'm going to be sitting here scraping on this, talking to you all, and I'm going to do my best to check the messages here and there to stay up on what folks are talking about, and if anybody has any comments. And again, I wonder if anyone knows of a better way to remove wood glue from a bridge like this rather than having to sit here and scrape this for, oh, it'll be a good half hour to 40 minutes before I'm done. And I did start yesterday on this project. I've scraped on it for a good 15 minutes at the end of my day yesterday to get all of this glue off of this instrument. I do not want any of this left because it's weak. Obviously it didn't hold it before, but there are many reasons for that. The glue is probably really good glue. I'm just guessing, and I can see where the glue still remains. These corners are really tough to get the glue off of, and you got to be careful on the edges of these so that you don't have a lifted edge where the glue can't. You want them to be flat. So oftentimes it's a good idea to take it to a belt sander, you know, with like 200 grit, or I'm sorry, 320 grit on a belt sander, and sand it flat. Just take enough off that you've got a nice flat surface, which I'm going to have to sand on this a little bit for sure. I was able to get most of the glue off of that, and that's another point that I want to make. Not much glue stuck to this. So I don't know what kind of glue they used, but playing and learning like real multi. There you go. Yeah, I was watching. I can't remember who it was. Oh, I was watching the audio broadcast. I wasn't watching it. I was kind of watching it. There's a YouTube channel that broadcasts the Indiana Fever games. Who I've kind of started following the WNBA instead of the NBA. I want to support them and see equal pay. And although I will say this, it's a professional sport, and the women just cannot and would never compete with the men. The worst female player on a female basketball team would not compete with the best female player in the world couldn't compete with. I'm pulling a John McEnroe, and that is nothing anti-woman. I don't mean anything by that. We just know that they couldn't compete with the male athletes. However, what they are being paid and the money that is being taken in on their behalf needs to be spread out equally. Women's pole vaulting. Yeah, there's some really beautiful women in the pole vaulting sport. I can't say that I have definitely seen some videos from them. Kind of women on the internet right now. You put up a video of a lady and you'll get millions of views. But yes, and it's not due to I'm not following it. Caitlin Clark definitely brought it to the attention of our world and our country, and her skill as a ball player and the level of playing that she brought to the WNBA versus what was there. And don't get me wrong, man, there are still Asia Wilson, man, she crushed last night in that game. And for me, it's kind of fun to watch tackle basketball, which is kind of what women's basketball is. They let them play a whole lot more rough. They let them travel. There's a whole other set of kind of rules that the referees have to abide by, because if they called a foul every time there was a foul committed, they would never get to play. That's just the way it goes. If you watch their games, you'll see what I mean. And I don't think I'm saying anything that's not kind of universally agreed with, or at least probably by the majority of folks who watch the WNBA. But it's been fun. Alright, scraping. Isn't this exciting? I'm sorry, my camera guy isn't following me, and I'm about ready to switch my blade. I'm truly fascinated by how the hell that pull does. Dude, that is a great comment. Yeah, that's interesting how they've. And imagine, what were they made of back in the, I don't know. When did pole vaulting start? What were they made of then? With the carbon fiber and all the materials that are available in the modern world. Good grief. The piece of bamboo, maybe, back in the day. Alright. I'm getting there, you guys. I know this is so exciting. So unmusical. No, I'm not playing any guitar today. I won't have time. My goal is to get this thing glued up and show you all how I glue it, but it really depends on whether I can get all this glue off this thing properly before I have to go home today. I have students in the afternoons on Wednesdays, so I leave a little bit early on Wednesdays. So we'll see what happens. I teach from home on Wednesday afternoons. I do a lot of online guitar instruction, and my student load is very deep right now. Even here at the shop, I'm having trouble finding enough time to get everybody in that wants to take lessons, which I'm very proud of, and I'm very grateful to all of my students. A lot of them are working really hard. Some of them don't practice enough, and I can see it. And to say practice is kind of some of them just don't play enough. Especially young people. They have too many distractions, and a lot of kids, I know I'm kind of going on these tangent subjects from WNBA to guitar students. Pretty interesting. A lot of parents have their children doing so many alternate activities that the kid doesn't have time or energy, probably because they're not eating correctly, but nonetheless, or exercising properly, to do the amount of work that it takes to develop a good guitar playing habit, and to build good habits as a guitarist, and all of that. And so, which is, it's certainly fine with me if people, parents want to spend the money to pay me to try and teach their children. I always encourage them, get your school work done first, then play your guitar. Then when you go to pick up your video game or your cell phone or your computer or anything else, that's your reminder to play your guitar. Am I wrong? Let's see. Just recently learned that heads needed replacing sometimes. That was a duh moment. Heads. Restored both my drum. Oh, yeah. Oh, Don, dude. Lasts a long time, yeah. Depending on the user, but definitely need replaced now and again. That's true. And another thing, that's a great subject that I'm really happy, and I have a lot of experience because I've recorded a lot of drum kits, and I mic up, I get to hear them way up close and personal because I play in a live band, and I get to hear my drummer's kit soloed all by itself through the PA. And we've got a great sounding, affordable drum kit, but tuning the kit, I cannot express how important that is to having a band sound really good or a recording sound really good. And sometimes, in tuning them properly, what you end up with is a drum head that will last a lot longer. Yep, you heard me say it. Our drummer is not a beat the drums to death to get sound out of him. He is a very dynamic drummer, and he plays to fit the song and the room. So much experience, but we do make sure to keep fresh heads on his kit. Sometimes even when, it's not really, 100% necessary to change them because they're worn out, simply because they've been used for a while, and god damn it, I don't want to break a drum head at a gig. That would suck. Kind of like putting fresh strings on a guitar. Alright? Why go to a gig with old guitar strings that you've used for 5 gigs? You're gonna break one. I mean, eventually. Yeah. So important to tune a drum kit properly. Perfect fourths is a pretty good interval to go by. And E or A on the snare drum is a very good pitch to start with. There are ways to do it. There are lots of videos out available that you can watch that show you how to properly tune a drum kit. And boy, it makes a song sound great on the radio. Listen to the Red Hot Chili Peppers. They're a great example of tuning a drum kit. And as much as I am not a huge fan, well, I guess I shouldn't say that. Listen to Metallica. You know, those guys tune their drum kit for a song. And I'm glad I'm just able to sit here and talk, because this would be really boring if I wasn't doing this live on the internet. Let's see, if you play in the sun, the glue under the wrap, yeah, heat up and cause bubbling, yeah. Yep, you're absolutely right. It's akin to leaving an acoustic guitar sit out in the sun. You'll melt the glue underneath your bridge and they'll pop off. That's not what happened to this one, and I think I'm going to change my blade. It's definitely gotten dulled up. It won't probably help me get this done much quicker, but I've got extra blades here. I think I usually do. I have a whole box of them, unless they've been borrowed by somebody else. I may have to go look someplace else to find my blades. Of course, mine are not right where they always are. I need to do some things here to secure my stuff. Oh, there they are. I found them. Look at that. They were underneath a pile of stuff from a guitar that I was working on yesterday. I've got a few of them in here that need some help, so I'm really trying to hustle, but then I got to do something like this. So these are obviously very time consuming. Now, imagine paying $95 an hour to have somebody do this for you. Imagine that for a moment. So if you're working on your own instruments, take my advice and follow my lead, because it could get expensive to have poor work done right and have to undo what was done wrong. It's just, I don't know, it's pretty sad. Again, I learned the whole principle of thinking about the next guy from being a journeyman plumber. We had codes, unlike the guitar world has virtually no codes. You can just build a guitar and do whatever you want and sell it, and there's nobody checking the specifications or the measurements or the slope or any of that stuff. And that's why I believe that when I work on an instrument, in many cases my work is superior than most, because I know that I'm the guy that's going to have to fix it, likely for free if I don't do a good job, or if I do it wrong, or hurry. Again, always imagine that you're going to be the next guy to work on this thing, and it might help you to be a little more thoughtful about the work that you're doing. I mean, how long have I been scraping on this thing? Nearly a half an hour now, right? All I've been doing, I've been absolutely, I mean, no brain work, no real technical anything. All I've been doing is scraping on this. And the guy that owns this guitar is a really cool dude, and he's done some pretty cool stuff with music. He's played in bands, and he's finally getting out and playing a bit more. I think he's getting ready to retire from work. He lives in a city that's quite a bit of a drive for him to get here to have me work on his guitar. So I'm really grateful for that, and it's kind of, again, word of mouth brought him here. He was wanting to start playing this guitar again, and he just did, oh man, it's not right. Which it's not. It wasn't. It had strings on it. When I got my hands, ooh, I got to be careful not to nick these wire. And again, I would have removed the pickup, but I think I would have created more trouble than I would have solved if I had done that. So we're gonna leave it in place. And I did nick that wire just a little bit with my razor blade, so I will put some sealer on. I didn't go through I didn't expose any wire, but I definitely nicked it. And it's really too bad that I have to do all of this on account of somebody else didn't do their job really right. And you know, I don't know what the circumstances were when this thing was originally worked on. Maybe the guy that owns this guitar was, I gotta get it fixed right now. I got a gig tonight. I get that. Okay, I can do it, but oh, there you go. Sparky, hello. Welcome, brother. It's for reglue. Yeah. Boy, Sparky, check this out. Because you're here, you got to see this, because not many people get to see one of these. This is a Gibson brand, Chet Atkins. Not a Les Paul, it's a Chet Atkins. It's a solid body, ultimately, acoustic guitar. Star inlays, has the little star on the headstock. I think this is the only guitar that Gibson has ever done this type of ornate work on. And it's what Chet Atkins wanted. It's got the nice little extra frets here on the fingerboard. So it's 24 frets up at the high end. Of course, Chet can't reach these, but he wanted to have access to those 24 frets, so they did it. And also, I haven't really spoken about the age of this guitar. This is a 2005, and you know, I think in my pinned comment I mentioned that this is the first one of these I have ever laid my eyes on. I was not even aware, you know, and I might sound like a bit of a dunce in saying this, but I wasn't even aware that Gibson made a Chet Atkins signature guitar. I had no idea they existed. Alright, so pretty neat to see these. I've never seen one before until this one. Oh. Is that a new one?
Well, it's one of these weird deals. If you want to do it, you can, but it's from Dwayne at the college, so we're going to put some strings on. I told him $15. I can make Stu put them on.
Okay.
Don't stop
all
what
right.
you're doing.
I got you.
Where's Joey when we actually need him?
I know. That would be a perfect one for him. Do a little bit of... Yeah. Got a guitar that just came in from one of the college professors who does a lot of guitar instruction at the university. We do a lot of work for college students, and college has just gotten back into full swing, and it's great that that's happening, and so we really try and take care of them as quickly as we can to keep those young people playing, able to practice. I forget what I was talking about there before. Oh yeah, the never seen one. Yeah, dude, I'm working on guitars. I don't know when they actually started making these. I did see a video. There's a video of Chet Atkins basically playing this exact same guitar, only it was a Godin, so it had those weird controls up here, the sliders. And I don't think I don't know exactly, but I don't think that Chet liked that. This has volume. It has bass, treble, and volume knobs on it, and they're rollers. I'll show you that. I'll show you that as soon as I get done scraping all this glue off of this thing. And if you've watched many of my videos, you've seen me do this a lot. I have spent a lot, I spend a lot of my time working on guitars, cleaning them. Because I can't, some of the work that I'm faced with, I can't actually do it right until the product is clean, right? You can't see things if the frets are real dirty or unpolished. You just don't have a good view of it. So it's not only that it makes the guitar look better. Of course, no one's ever going to see this or even know that I did anything to this guitar. This is going to be completely invisible. But I've got to do this in order to make the repair proper, so that there isn't a next guy that has to fix this for the next 60, 70 years is what my hope is. Just like homes that I've plumbed. I don't want anybody to have to unclog a drain because of something I did to make it not work properly. That's a good way to approach any job. And I know in this day and age, boy, the more money we can get out of one item, you know, that's kind of the way of business these days. Never sell anything, rent it. So if you go fix a faucet, don't fix it right, because you'll make more money in the future, right? You're just renting your services ultimately. And where I come from, that's not cool. It's not what I do. Do they need that guitar right away, Mike?
Yeah, but I'm gonna see if Stu can do it. He needs
to just put this. I'm just scraping glue. I can do it real quick. I mean, just strings.
Yeah.
Let me do that. I'll do it.
A kid broke a D string or something, so I put one in.
Okay.
Can we just use those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we got to.
I just don't want you to.
Okay. That's all right. This guy can wait.
Stop. You know what? $800 repair or whatever. I know it's not that, but
Well,
I get it.
$30. 10 minutes.
Okay.
You know. All right, so I'm going to take a moment to put some strings on this guitar that belongs to the college student. I want to get it back to him as soon as I can. So we're going to do a world record string change on this thing. And let's see. String action looks pretty good on this thing. So we'll just take a little detour here, which happens. We gotta get them done. And I call him my journeyman. Stu is working on other stuff, so we're just going to keep busy on getting this thing done. I think I'll have time to get the Chet Atkins guitar glued up today. I'm getting the glue down, or the scraping of it done enough now that I think I'll be able to. Get it glued up today, and I'm hoping to hold that content on this live stream so you can watch what I've done, because I actually built a tool to do that, because as you can see, it's not a typical acoustic guitar, and I've got to glue that piece of wood down onto the top of it, and you've got to clamp it tight, right? And they make clamps, C clamps that I use, that allow me to put the clamp on a normal acoustic guitar to clamp the bridge down to the top, so you get a good, solid, tightly clamped, fully pressed down clamp situation, so that you've got a solid glue joint. So I built something for it. There you go. Sometimes we have to make tools and improvise to overcome a problem. Yes, there are other ways I could have done it, but I think this way is, in my humble opinion, the best way to repair that guitar. I have a buddy that inherited a gold-plated, real gold plating country gentle. Oh, wow. That's the guitar way. Oh boy, I bet. Additional models like the Chet Atkins Country Gentleman. Yeah. Gretsch. Those were the Gretsch Country Gentleman. Those are great guitars, by the way. Most of them that I've played, I mean, if they're set up right, any guitar is great. But let me see if I can get this off of here. All right. Somebody put strings on this thing properly. I like it. They didn't tie them in knots. And I think what I'm going to do, we have one odd colored string in this because we borrowed a D string out of it. I don't like doing that, but my boss asked me to do that, so we'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to clean this thing a little bit. We just want to do this quick. This person is not an experienced player, probably a beginner. But the string action on this looked really good, so we're going to leave that just pretty good. I may have to turn the truss rod a little bit just to make sure that this thing is playable so that the kid won't quit playing because the guitar is so hard to play, right? Best guitar to buy is one that's set up properly. I don't care if it costs 40 bucks or $40,000. Because I've played some $40 guitars that smoked the $40,000 Martin. And I played some of those too. So, oops, I'm sorry. Let me get you. My camera guy's kind of having a hard time keeping up with me. I'm working really hard today because I've got a lot on my plate. And I want to get these things done. So that this kid can do his guitar lessons. Where'd my strings go? Okay, I'm just going to use this set of strings. Oh, let's put a little oil on the fingerboard. I'll do this. That way it'll look nice and pretty, and I'll rub some of that on the bridge too. I'm going to pull the saddle out. This is the saddle, that's the bridge. Okay, just so you know. A lot of people call it the bridge and when they're talking about a saddle. Or the saddle when they're talking about the bridge. It's interesting that on a violin, the bridge is called the bridge, and the rear tailpiece is actually called the saddle. It's weird. Alright. Doesn't that look beautiful? Amazing to bring taking an affordable instrument like this and just putting linseed oil on the neck makes it look so much nicer. The fingerboard isn't terribly dirty. It's definitely a little bit of a mess, but no, it's not bad enough to really worry too much about. This thing is going to get played by a college student, and we just want it to play nicely for them. I don't know if it's a male or female student, doesn't matter. So anybody else watching the WNBA, the playoffs? I'm guessing probably not too many. And I'm trying to keep up on the chat, but I've got to stay busy here, you guys. So hopefully y'all are talking about interesting stuff and sharing some cool information amongst yourselves. Let's see. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's a great way to go. That's a great way to go. Oh yeah, I play.
I am not 100% certain who rolled this up, but they had way too much time on their hands. I'll tell you that right now. Now, do I have 6 strings here? It only looks like I have 5. Oh, I do have 6. Alright, so we're going to have one oddball colored string in this set. Which I would never do, but I've been asked by the owner of my business to do this, so I'm going to have to do it. And it's not really going to make a big difference, but I don't like the way it looks, and I would never ever do that, nor would he do this on one of his own guitars. And I don't like doing something to a customer that I wouldn't do on my own guitar until I'm asked to do that by someone in authority. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I would never do that. Boy, Strings are just wound up. Alright, put the saddle back in here. And I'm gonna just taking a little bit off of the back of the saddle because the string action was a little bit higher on this guitar. Now I just took literally microns off of this. It's not going to change the action at all, but I'll feel better about giving it to this kid that I've done that, because we just want to hurry on this one. It's a very inexpensive string change. You got to get it done. Trying to get strings on this as quickly as I can. I forgot to do something on this guitar. I need to do this before I get much further. Tighten up the hardware on this. This is all pretty good. All the hardware was actually pretty tight on this one. That's great. Almost done. Just got to tune her up and send her on down the road. Have I broken a world record yet? Probably not. I had to stop mid string change and tighten up some hardware. 2 treble E string. I have a gig this weekend. Surprise. Yeah, it's been 3 weeks since I played a gig. It's kind of nice to have another gig. Am I in tune? Am I in tune? Tell me. Am I in tune? Hey, Charlie. Driving and listening. Wonderful. I'm trying to tune a guitar without a tuner. I gotta go grab my tuner. I had to tune my old lesson guitar. Let's see how close I am. Oh, hopefully you can see the snark. Let's see. Woo-wee! Yeah, my ear still works. No tuner. And that's how close I got. I love knowing my ears still can hear pitches. That's really helpful to me. I like it. Oh, by the way, I have a hearing doctor appointment on October 6th, I think. And I might get some new hearing help devices, which would be cool. Alright, I'm just going to check the neck relief real quick because I can. And we'll see if maybe we can help the string action a small amount. There we go. This is how I do mine. Fret it at the body. Oh, and yes, we can turn this string action. We can tighten this truss rod quite a bit. We're going to flatten out this neck a little bit, so this will help this young person. Oh, shoot. You got to be kidding me. Come on. Good grief. Ah. I hope this is long enough to reach. It's not very often that these very inexpensive guitars have a truss rod that's done like this, but now, please stop doing that, you guys. Again, nothing is standardized in the music, in the world of guitar building. Having to do this to a guitar is just utterly ridiculous. To turn a truss rod, God. And it's very tight already, so, and I have to be very careful not to touch the strings with my my wrench, which I'm not going to be able to avoid. Okay, now to get my wrench out of here. Terrible bug. It costs way too much to make the truss rod an inch longer, right? Yeah. Fucking assholes. Again, never think about the next guy. This is American, or this is corporate Chinese business in the world today. Never think about anybody but your profit margin. All right? That's it. I know I'm bitching, but the fact that I have to do this is just ridiculous. Okay, so I mean it's necessary, but you got to turn this thing, and you got to have a special wrench to turn it. All right, I got it. I have a hex key that's literally that long, and it's protected so I don't touch the screens, and I can't reach the. That's so crazy. All right, let's play this thing. See how she sounds, real quick. I know, I'm just a whiner, aren't I? I think it's legit though. Legit. I think it's a legit bitch. Come on, guys. this colored string really makes it sound weird, doesn't it? No. Again, you know, it's funny, and the string action is just perfect on this thing. Set up really nicely. I'm glad I did that little bit of extra attention. It would have been a little bit higher and it may have been a little uncomfortable to play. Okay. I'm gonna retune it up real quick because cutting the strings off of it always makes them fall out of tune. There you go. World's fastest string change and a new tool. Look at that. All right.
Sorry. Oh man, I was talking, being funny, and it was beeping at me. Chris came in and went, "Hey, that dude left his card in here." Oh, you're ready, I think. Is this yours?
I believe it is. All right.
Well, that was quick. That's awesome.
World record.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
He knew you needed it for a class, so he took something off his bench.
I'm a teacher, so I want you to have your guitar play it as much as you possibly can.
I've been trying.
Okay, good. Now keep hours a day.
I get close to that, honestly.
Do you?
Recently, at least.
Dude, I'm glad to hear that. You're the rare one.
I got a lot to learn, but I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah. If you get done with your lessons with Dwayne and at the university, come see me. If you want to keep going, I'm an instructor and I have a college level education. So
I really appreciate that.
you can continue your lessons.
I'd love to.
One-on-one, man, there ain't nothing better than that to learn.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
All right.
Play the hell out of that thing.
Oh, am I good to go?
Yeah, you're good, man.
Awesome.
You got your card, you got your guitar.
All right.
It's a big difference.
Let's get the Chet Atkins back over here with this pile of wood chips that I've got to try and not scratch the back of this by setting it down on some of my tools. I got a little bit more glue to get off of this thing. Where'd my scraping tool? Here we go. Let's get back to it. Get you right in the business. There we go. That was cool. I got to meet the young man who owns that guitar, and he was pretty happy. Got to talk to him about continuing his education on guitar. If he wants to come take some lessons from me. He said that he plays a lot, so that's really promising. Probably really enjoying it. And Dwayne, the professor up at the university that teaches, he's amazing. A really, really nice guy. And he does own a Lloyd Loar mandolin, by the way. Shh, under my breath. I say that under my breath. Those are really rare. Rare to see one. Alright, I'm going to check the messages here. See what folks are saying. Hopefully. Man, I can't believe I got that thing tuned up like that, man. My ear still works. I love it. Still have good relative pitch. I don't have perfect pitch. I wish I did, but actually, I'm probably lucky I don't. I get frustrated having to listen to a train horn or a muffler on a car. If all of it had pitch and everything, would be I'd be a real whiny little son of a gun, right? Which I kind of already am, I guess. You could say it that way. See where I nicked the insulation on that wire. It didn't damage anything. I wish I hadn't done that, but we're going to be able to leave that just the way it is. You know, I'm getting right up next to this thing because I want to get all of the glue off of this. Now the one thing I'm a little annoyed about with this guitar, given the fact that I have to glue this, I'm going to glue this bridge down without removing the pickup, is that the pickup's going to get glued. So the next guy that gets to take this apart, oh boy, I need to really decide what do I want to do. The way that Gibson has attached this thing, I just feel like if I undo this at the other end, it's the only way I can get it out of there. That's going to cause some problems. But also, if I don't undo it, it's going to get glued down to the top, and that's going to cause some problems for me if I have to take it apart again. So let's clean up my workspace. I'm going to check the messages here. I need to take a moment. My arm's a little bit tired from all this scraping. I'm going to let my arm relax for a moment. Gosh, pretty good. I've gotten most of the glue off of this. I'm going to go around, let me go around the outer edge just to make sure. I can see there's a little bit left right there. And I got to make sure my corners are all really well taken care of. We don't want any glue left. And if you can see white shavings, I know that there's still some glue on there. I want to see rosewood coming off of this thing. That way I know I've gotten all the glue off of it. Now, I can see that there's some glue that's penetrated into the grain of the wood. Gosh, there was so much glue on this thing that, of course, there's glue in the grain. There we go. All right. Now, I'm just going over some spots that I can visually see if there's some glue left. And I'm being really careful around these edges so that I don't cup the edges or curve them uphill and cause a spot where we can't make good contact. I can see where we don't make good contact wood to wood. Nice little blow job there, right? Okay. I'm going to scrape the surface of this. Let me take a moment to check the chat, see what everybody's up to. I thanks you guys for hanging in there. Share an email from a Chinese company that I bought a product from, and when I told them what was wrong with it, they told me I should not leave any disparaging remarks on my channel. What are they gonna do? Set that guitar up. Hey Charlie, that's what we're here for. Yeah, what are they gonna do to you, Sparky? I mean, how much crap have I said about terrible craftsmanship from Gibson? I haven't been sued yet because everything I've said is factual. It's not like I'm saying anything to deface or demean their products, pointing out things that they could do that would be 100% improvement in their construction techniques, or maybe morale at their factories, you know, stuff like that. Now, something I haven't shared that I've already done is with this bridge in place, and it has a couple of little set screws. I went around this entire bridge with a razor blade and just scored the paint, and then I've gone through and removed all of the paint. And yes, there are a couple of places where more paint came out than what the bridge can cover. And I'm going to do this one more time here, because on the back edge of this it looks like I've got some paint that's holding the bridge up. So I want to cut this, and I'm being real gentle. I'm not pushing real hard, but I want to make sure that I've got all of that glue out of the path of the bridge. Being very precise with it, and you can see the paint is really thick and it's just chipping away very easily. It's nice that they put such thick paint on this. Of course it's black, gotta love black. So you can see that had I left that little edge on there, the back edge of this would have been lifted from actually touching wood, this is what Gibson should do at the factory when they build these things. Don't glue wood to paint unless you want your glue joint to fail, which is what happened to this guitar. Now I don't know if the owner maybe had left this out sitting in the sun. You know, that sort of stuff can cause even the best glued guitar to come undone, or the best glued bridge to come undone. I mean, definitely user error happens. I can see. Now I can see that I've got I've gotten the paint removed all the way. I can see that there's a light, I can see air around this thing. So this is part of the reason why Gibson doesn't do this at the factory, because of the finish. And finish repair is very expensive. And doing good finish work is one of the more difficult things in guitar world. I just want to make sure. Okay, so I've got clean lines around this entire instrument. Had I left that little piece of paint right there, that little black chip, I would have had a small bit of the bridge that was lifted on that. Now, again, the original repair technician really scored this deeply, and I don't like leaving that. I would really like to sand this down, but then again, I'm faced with, if I remove the pickup, I could cause myself a whole lot of trouble. I'm not going to lift the electronics out of this instrument again. I've already removed them, and I looked it over, and I made my decision to not disconnect the pickup. I don't want to do that. All these scrapes in here, don't do this. That's not a good way to make a good wood-to-wood glue joint. That is enough. Literally, that is enough. Any more than that, and you've degraded the repair. So, you know, it's already been done incorrectly, and gosh, I have to decide. If I sanded these out, it would decrease the thickness of the top by probably more than 1 millimeter. So I don't want to fill them, because then I'll have areas with fill that wood glue does not like to stick to real well. It would make the joint potentially less quality than it could be if I just don't. So I'm faced with having to fix something that really is going to be really done incorrectly. And I also want to be real honest with everybody. I do know the guy that did this repair. I think I may have said earlier that I don't, but I do know him. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is yes. I'm going to use my little sanding tool here, and I'm going cross grain on this. I'm even taking my corner of this and getting into the corners here, because I believe doing this is going to leave me a flatter surface to glue to, a more smooth surface. This comes with most Dremel tools. And then I will wipe this down with denatured alcohol. I don't want to use acetone on this because I could get some on the finish of this guitar and then just damage the finish. And yes, I'm going to have to do a little bit of finish repair on this, and I have some excellent stuff that's a pretty close match for the paint that Gibson used on this. So it's very subtle repairs. These wide spots here, some of them were already some of it already existed. And I'm going to do the same thing to the bridge when I get there. Now, part of the problem with this guitar was that the string action was too high. And I want to show you another thing that Gibson has done on the design of this guitar, and I kind of understand why they did it, but so take a look at the saddle. It's not like the pickup is mounted under the bridge, although I suppose I have not tried to remove this, but I'll have an opportunity to do that later on if I decide I need to lower the string action in that method. All right, I'm talking, and then where did I set where did I set down? Oh, there it is. All right, so I'm going to go over this with the same sanding piece. Oh, I'm going to put this rag back on the guitar just in case I drop something. Okay. I'm gonna grab a nice clean cloth, and I'm gonna blow all of the let me put this tool away. Grab a nice clean cloth. Yes. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, I saw an email from a Chinese company. The guy, yeah, send it to me, Sparky. I would love to see that. Just to let you know how good your stream is. I have my grandkids in the car. How cool is that? Give him a hug from me, Charlie. That's very cool. That's very cool. I really try and keep my my streams clean if they're young people. If not, screw it, right? No, I joke, but here we go. That makes me feel really good. Okay, I have to step away for a moment here. Got a good. I'm gonna come back. Give me a few moments here. I've got a client here that I've got to go outside with. I'm gonna clean this with some denatured alcohol. I'm gonna apply glue, and then we're gonna clamp it down. Here we go. Yes.
So this gift for the people about a keyboard.
Oh yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah.
I think you are more qualified than me.
All right.
If Joey or Stu are up, I'm gonna have Marshall.
Yeah.
I wasn't ignoring you, Patty.
How are you doing?
I just walked off and left her.
Yeah,
No,
geez.
he gets her
I
right over it.
I just was talking, you know. Alan is my grandson. He's
Looking
looking
for a synth or a yeah. Now, are we talking about something like a MIDI controller for a computer-based synth or?
Oh, I was just looking for one to plug in and then it has multiple, like, different MIDIs on it.
Okay, has a bunch of sounds on it. Sick. Okay, all equipped. This guy right here is. This keyboard right here is an actual piano-style keyboard. It doesn't have a lot of
Just for the strings and a restring, you're usually looking at about $30. What I tell people is it's like a newer guitar, older guitar.
You want the synthesizer, don't you?
This thing's gonna have
Okay, I would, can you bring it down and have one of my
something
guys
like this.
check it out?
Does this look
Because
like what
sometimes,
you're
for a little bit more,
looking for?
they can make
I
it
don't know anything
a
about
lot
music.
more playable. They can lower the string, but they won't just do that if it doesn't need it. We don't work that way.
This one's gonna be
But you can make it, if the strings are too high, you're kind of guaranteeing failure because it's too hard to play. So bring it down and let us check it out.
I don't know what you do.
We're good at it, I
so
promise.
I just want
You know where we are,
to
right behind DSP. Okay.
This is Yamaha one.
Yamaha is one of the
change the sounds. It has like a voice is going to give you a piano, and that's patch 1. Let me do this. Straight up old piano. There's like 37 different piano sounds, and I can't remember which score. Oh. So it changes it kind of subtle. Also, of course, I've got the cheap plug headphones I'm listening to. Listen to listening to Dave. I love his sound like me when I was 3 years old, banging on a piano. I had no idea what I was doing, but I loved it. Now, right now you're still just in the piano, so ambient piano. I'm just going to give you an idea. Piano, you can push these down and up buttons, and we can go through like and one button. Now you're honky tonk pounding piano.
I knew I was going to close that
Talking
right
to
in
the
your face,
boss.
man.
Talking to my boss, my husband.
Now,
Or
you can also
conniving.
go if
Trying to
you want to
manipulate
sound
our
like a
children. It's not
synth,
very easy.
go to synth, and you just keep pushing control and you want the sound to be constant. So there are literally hundreds of sounds in there. But you want to do that back to six. I think we found the right one for.
Does it have a stand, or do you buy that separate?
What's that?
Does it have a stand?
The stand and the seat are going to come. We're going to have to sell that to you separately.
Okay.
We don't have a full kit, but we'll put a whole kit together for you.
Okay.
And we'll make you a deal on the whole thing.
Perfect.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they don't sell those with the stands included. So, and I need to make sure I've got those in stock. Let me check.
Is that what you've been thinking about, bud? All right. Well, pick out what you want, okay? I'm gonna sit right here. Maybe.
No, here's another thing about this thing. If you haven't experimented with computers, digital, like plugging this into a laptop, it has a USB output that you can plug it directly into a laptop, and the sounds that you can get are literally endless. And I've run a recording studio here in town. I have a very similar, very affordable keyboard, and it can sound like a jet plane and a grand piano and the push of a button.
Oh, and they're both raising.
So right now, all
They're
you're
coming
hearing
home.
are the sounds of
That's
inputs.
awesome. I know, they're so
But if you
cool.
plug this into
He
your
also builds
laptop or
hotels,
whatever,
but he like
I
builds
think
hotels.
you're
But he's a
probably gonna
Nashville
realize
cowboy.
the sounds are literally and it
And
is
he said,
full
your
in
husband
stereo,
saved my
so
life.
you
He
can get
said,
all that
are you related to her? I
full
said, yeah,
sound.
he's my husband. He goes, well, aren't we allowed to talk to your husband? So I got Larry up there, and the guy's been in foster care, and 5 times, and Larry has been like somebody that was on his piano when he was a little kid.
Well, you know,
Are
you
you,
just never know who you're going to affect.
Are you
People,
taking lessons right
teachers
now
are
on
used to
keyboard
that.
or
You
middle
know,
school?
coaching. I
Keyboard
still
in
have
class or
girls
anything,
that
nothing like that?
men come in and say,
Gonna do
you
it
made
all.
such a difference.
I know, and
Good
this
for
guy
you.
was this tall,
That's a way to learn.
tattooed, long hair,
I'm self-taught
and
on
he was
guitar and I
about
make tons
crying
of money playing guitar.
when he got to talk to my husband.
That's so great.
The potential is great.
Anyway, they're moving back here. Okay, were you wanting to talk to me?
Actually, I was making sure we had a piano stool.
Oh.
And we do have a bench.
Okay.
And the stand that this thing is on.
Okay.
You just get it all up and save you having to take launches on it.
Okay, sure. You like that?
Let's do that.
You gonna go home and rock on?
What's that?
So,
He likes to record and make music.
Absolutely. This
we
has
will do it to stop
a
the
MIDI
I promise.
control. We were talking about that a little
Okay.
earlier.
Okay.
You plug that into a laptop.
Doing all
and
right.
I'll give you the name
How
of
are you
a
guys
couple
doing?
synths that are free to download. I don't know if you're aware of any of that stuff, but there are some really cool ones.
Yeah.
And all that would do is this will become basically a MIDI controller. So you won't be using any of the sounds that are in it. You'll be using all of the sounds that are on your laptop and listening to that. That world is huge. It's exciting. There's so many cool things. There's patches that like have like I think this like might I don't know. This does have there are rhythmic patterns on the synths, and this thing does have it too. I just don't want to get it. You push a key and it does all these cool rhythmic patterns, and so you can move the pitch and everything. It's just cool. And I'll write that on the machine for you. You can download it on your laptop. Right? But I think you do this, the keyboard, the stand, you're pretty well set.
Now, if he has questions,
Absolutely. And we are
you can
always
ride your bike
looking.
down here and talk to these guys. I've known him for 6 years.
Does look all right? Yeah. We paid $71 for it.
You guys go to school together?
Yes, I have to say she's a little.
130.
Gotta put that in there.
You guys can use a box with Mike?
No.
No. I had to ask.
No, didn't do that one.
This is the one?
All right, I'll take care of it.
Okay. Let me get things put together for you.
If you have the salary,
See if I can find,
seem okay?
box.
You gonna come home and make music?
Oh, great. Good.
Oh, he's got the tuner?
Well, then it's got buttons on it.
There's a classic old, you don't mind those, do you?
Oh, no, actually, like it. Been blatantly Grover style.
Okay. Somebody made a mess over here. I wonder who it was.
Yeah.
Let me get 90% of this out of your way, Marshall.
Yeah.
You want that?
Yeah.
Wherever like this. Where's the bus?
He's taking boxes up.
You're gonna have fun with that.
They're in that other room, not the one with the
I got
bags
it.
on the floor, but the other box, the
First
full
try
box
next
room.
time. All right.
They should be in there.
You guys use these little batteries?
Yeah.
I don't have a big. Every once in a while I'll throw something away and just go, we use those! We don't use those, we just use those for us. Yeah, see?
I use them on the rare occasion.
Yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne. Metallica. Do you need a power bar, or do you think you have enough power
Yes,
out there?
they're taking a stand.
I think Grandpa's got power bars out in the garage, because I have some extra.
Let me go up and see if that box is up there for you, buddy.
Oh, I was gonna head up there and do that. Let me do that too.
Okay.
Should this sell?
Yeah, that's their price, yeah.
Yeah. 19 seems high.
Yeah, just a smidgen.
Somebody, there's girls coming in. Great. 114.
Yeah, that sounds like a fair deal.
Fairly honest, Mike.
No.
Yeah, I'm with my grandson. I'm just sitting here working.
Oh, okay. Okay.
While he's
perfect.
looking at stuff. Thank you, though.
All right. Perfect.
No, go ahead. All right, thanks. What's that? Oh, Fred. He doesn't know his name. All right. Thanks to you. Bye.
Fine, Patty, I'll walk around, yeah.
Yeah, it should be that last room.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Is it?
a PSR 383.
PSR. Okay. And that one's not locked, right?
No, it isn't locked. Yeah, it shouldn't be. It wasn't last time.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go up and grab the box for that thing.
Perfect.
You look very handsome playing, Galen. I think that was meant for you, don't you? Take a picture.
Okay, so maybe these two. What are you looking for? Oh, you need some TRS connectors? And, okay. Yeah, usually you're looking for just the ends. Okay, let me see. We got
You look
it.
very handsome. I think you should take a picture.
I usually have a battery, but let me see. How many you need?
Hey, Becky's coming over at 3 tomorrow, not 1. She just texted me and she...
They are. Yeah, actually, I might be out. I'm gonna look. I'll have to look. Okay. Nope. I have a bag of them, and they're $3.99 a piece. Huh. They're they're real good. I think they're Nutric or one of those brands. Yeah, come on down, get them if you need them.
You guys bring in stereo.
6 o'clock.
Okay, so get ready for a pickup.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
I will be
Bye
there
bye.
in seconds. Bye.
You found it. Was it right where I thought it was?
Right where he told me.
I have to go pick up Lori at the doctor's office.
This is great. I'll just get this stuff done and.
There's anything else? Because I showed you the fan one, you saw that.
Yeah, let's see it on the bottom. Shut it up. Marshall's got that well under control, so.
Okay, I'll see you then.
All right.
Shouldn't be
Perfect.
too long. Seeing him again.
We got her.
He's a pretty good guy.
When my mom and dad bought me a guitar, I literally vanished. I was in my room beating the tar out of that thing every day.
Well, I bet you he's going to enjoy this, would be my guess. Does he have to put that together?
No. This is just a stand that will mount. Yeah, there's just a couple of feet here. Just sit
Okay,
there. So if you
like
want
for
to
music
produce
or
some
something?
music or you want lyrics or something, you'll have that.
Do you guys sell the music here?
We do have some sheet music. And we have some small. There's a power supply right there. All
Look,
right.
here, Galen, did you see that? The power supply is back in the corner there, in the box. Over here in the box.
Yeah, it's right here in this place. I just want to package this up just to make sure it gets home safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, power supply.
See, Galen? Power supply. Yeah, I'm not going to set it up. I don't know how to do this stuff.
We just use that one that was 12 volt. This one, I'm gonna unplug it. Alright? Okay.
right back in, Marshall. Just throwing this box out.
All right, sounds good. They make these things tough. Sometimes packaging these things back up is extremely difficult. Alright, here we go. Alright, I guess you're going to put this thing together probably as soon as you get home, right? Okay, I'm just going to throw this stuff away. Power supplies in there.
Now, does that Yamaha have to screw to that stand, or can he set it on the stand?
I'm sorry?
Does he have to screw the piano?
No,
He can
there's
just set
no
on it?
mechanical
Okay.
meat on it at all.
Okay.
You just set it on there and let it rest. And it's kind of nice because you can, if you need to lower it, whatever, because you might set this thing up and then decide, and the way this works is a little lever right here.
Here, look at that
And
lever.
yeah, right now it's locked. Hang on a second, I'm gonna grab a rag too. So you can literally have it this high, stand and play, or you know, for little people, you can put it down straight to low. So you just want to make sure that this little, the way that works, you pull on it, and now you can move it. Okay. Pretty simple.
Well, it's not a real.
Usually you do have to assemble these things, but we already took care of that. I don't have another one of these in a box.
I'll be back
That's all
here.
right.
Talk to
That's
you.
the last one I have in stock.
So we
Put
have
it right
fun this
there. I'll be right
afternoon.
back with you.
Now, something I would recommend if you're not taking keyboarding lessons, use YouTube. You probably watch a bunch of stuff on YouTube. I would assume you have. Go there and watch some people, some really basic piano lessons. I mean, make it have fun playing, but that is a wonderful tool that we now have. So I take advantage of it every chance I get. All right.
What kind of musician are you?
I play everything.
Yeah?
How are you? Good to see you again. All right, so let me, I'm going to grab this bench and we'll,
Sitting on it.
yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, my
What's
car.
happening?
Oh, I just needed to do strings.
Okay, broke one. Tuning. I'll go over with you how to tune that thing today.
Didn't leave you, Marshall. I just went out for just a brief moment.
Yeah.
Oh, you can leave that together if you want. I've got
Oh,
I've got a big
leave
car.
it up. You got
Yeah.
room for that? Okay. This thing just folds up. You'll be able to do it.
You guys, you want to start putting this in the back?
All right.
This is just for a while. Strings on it, and then it's got issues.
Hey, Stu. I want to help this young lady with the her guitar. Could you bring these guys up? I have a tag written here.
All right, got 474.
Yep.
All right,
Everything.
all right, no doubt
Okay.
on that. Okay, I'm gonna write them up right now.
You can just put that
I'll
in
get
the.
the money from them.
Pedal, stand, bench.
Thanks for helping us.
keyboard.
All right, we know where to get these
I'm gonna
two
grab
items.
while they're packaging this thing up. Alright.
Oh, and that's the keyboard, so.
Thank you, Stu. I appreciate
No
it.
problem.
Alright.
I think that needs the Marshall love. So I think.
Yeah. Did we put strings on this the other day? No. Let's put some new stems on.
Yeah,
Okay.
with the mess going on at the top.
All right. How much time do you have?
As much time as it takes.
Not a big hurry.
No.
And I'm gonna turn off. I've got a live stream going right now. I'm gonna turn that off. You guys, I gotta go. Thanks for tuning in today. I appreciate seeing y'all. Sparky, Charlie, oh, and Richard. You guys have a great day. I just have 8 million people watching me on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Totally joking.
Oh.
That is not true. Okay.